What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe, and you're watching the weekly Ritual Ghost Cult's news program right here on YouTube. Let's get started. First things first, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit the notifications below, and find out every time we post new content, usually 3 videos per week. In case you missed it, features at Ghost Cult Magazine. We kick off our features this week with our interview with heavy metal singer James Durbin. James Durbin's new album, The Beast Awakens, is coming in February from Frontiers SRL Records, and we talked to him all about his journey as a singer, his love of heavy metal, his improved guitar playing, and a whole lot more. We also chatted with Joel from Nevada hardcore band The End of Everything. We talked about their recent EP, his upbringing in the Buffalo hardcore scene, and his other interests outside of music. And on the podcast front, we talked to Anders from Bloody Hammers, their brand new album, Songs of Unspeakable Terror, is out now on Napalm Records. And now, the news rundown. We start this week's news off with an important story we've been covering. The LA Times did an expose about the aftermath of the Burger Records scandal and closure. This has to do with sex assault and sex abuse in the music industry, a topic we've covered a lot here on the Weekly Ritual. As we said many times, there's no place in the industry for this. Music needs to be a safe space for everybody. This expose spoke to many victims of instances of assault and abuse by bands, by members of the label. Burger Records was an influential record label with over 1,200 releases in 10 years, and the many cases came to light. The label has been dissolved. Their catalog has been subsumed by another label. We'll see what happens with those artists. But this is an important story we've been covering. I urge you to read this news article and expose on latimes.com. In some more bad news, we are rapidly approaching the spring and summer music concert tour and festival season, and we're going to see closures and cancellations. We've been discussing this last week. Glastonbury Festival, which is normally the kickoff to the European festival season, canceled their 2021 schedule. They will not even attempt a festival this year due to the pandemic. And now we found out that Maryland Death Fest has been postponed all the way to 2022. The festival has taken very great care to not promise a festival was happening in the spring of 2021. They are trying to rebook all the bands for 2022. They're still waiting to hear on a few, like Bloodbath, which is one of the headliners, or Coffins, or bands like that, Violence, bands with a lot of touring plans on the horizon for the next few years. So we're going to follow this story. Good luck to Maryland Death Fest, the purveyors of the longest-running American independent festival of underground, heavy, and death metal and extreme music. And of course, there are many death fests all over the country and the world. So we're rooting for you guys, and we're looking forward to 2022. Other cancellations that came out this week include Northlane, the metalcore leaders, have canceled their entire summer world tour, which included many festival headlining spots in Europe. I'm sure this is going to cause a ripple effect all the way through the touring and festival schedule. Also canceled is Mono's 20th anniversary tour with A.A. Williams, including their headline set in the UK. Good news for Mono fans, they were releasing a live album soon, but bummer about this special tour. We're hoping that's going to get rebooked for next year as well. Finally, on some good news. On the good news front on the pandemic, as we get further into getting more people vaccinated, the entire music industry in North America has come together. Live Nation, AEG, Music Cares, and countless other organizations sent a letter to new President Joseph Biden to offer their services to open up concert venues and use concert venue staff and security for vaccination sites. This is great. I think this is a great idea. It would also get a lot of people back to work and employ a lot of out-of-work crew people. So we're hoping that the government takes the music industry up on this initiative. Kudos to all of these usually competitive agencies coming together for a good cause and hopefully going to save our scene and our lives. Code Orange has released a brand new music video for their song Autumn and Carbine. They debuted the video on Adult Swim's Toonami show last weekend, and the video features a futuristic dystopian video game look, almost like Starship Troopers or the video game Quake or Doom. Super cool stuff from Code Orange, who continues to be innovative and leaders in their scene. The sludge and doom band 16 have dropped a brand new single, Tear It Down. Tear It Down, that's right, it's heavy as hell, just like you would expect 16 to be. We got new music on the way from those guys, super cool stuff from the underground. Get hype, everybody! Liquid Tension Experiment has finally released a brand new video for their single, The Passage of Time, their first new music in almost a decade for their upcoming album, LTE3. As you know, the prog instrumental supergroup features Mike Portnoy, Jordan Rudess, Tony Levin on the bass, and John Petrucci on guitar. We are super excited for this album. The music industry continues to evolve, where the rights of songs are worth more today and in the future than perhaps they ever have been before. Bob Rock, the former producer of Metallica on albums such as the Black Album, Load and Reload, and Saint Anger, sold his shares of 43 songs that he owns partial rights to as a producer to the Hypnosis Sound Fund. Those guys have spent millions and millions of dollars buying the rights to songs from artists such as Fleetwood Mac and Bob Dylan for record-setting amounts. No actual total was disclosed that Bob earned from the sale of these 43 songs that include those albums I mentioned before. He's also produced albums by The Cult and Motley Crue and even Michael Bublé, who we've talked about here on The Ritual. So congrats to Bob Rock. Interesting to see what happens in the future of music rights and ownership and where these songs will pop up later. Are we going to see Metallica songs in TV commercials and movies and such? We'll find out. Pissing Razors are back! The Texas groove metal band has been promising us new music. They're working on a new full-length record that's going to drop soon, but they dropped a cover of Nailbomb's classic 90s track, Wasting Away, featuring Steve Escobar of Skin Lab on vocals. We love Steve, and we love Pissing Razors. We're super pumped about those guys and their new album, and we're going to talk to them about it really soon. System of a Down has announced a charity live stream this Saturday, January 30th. That's right, they're going to premiere the brand new video for their song Genocidal Humans, one of the two new songs they dropped as a charity relief effort for their home country of Armenia. And of course, we're super hyped for this. Great to have the band back in any capacity. They were expecting to do some touring this year and some big festival appearances, but at least we have these songs and a new video to look forward to. Multinational extreme metal band 6 Hours dropped their second single this week, Darkness Falls. We brought you news a few weeks ago of their debut single and video, A Million Souls. The band features our boy, Fahad, who is the co-composer of the Ghost Cult theme music you're hearing right under this news story, the intro music, and used to be in a band with me, Salty Woods from New York City. A few weeks back, we brought you the news of Igor Cavalera's brand new YouTube channel, Beneath the Drums, and his new series of videos detailing his whole history as a player, a breakdown of his songwriting and drum techniques, and a whole lot more. He just dropped his second in the series, featuring the song from the album Roots, Ishtari. Awesome stuff. He also launched a Patreon this week. We're super excited for Igor. Check that out at the link below. This week marks what would have been the 66th birthday of guitar hero Eddie Van Halen, who of course passed away last fall. Tributes again poured in as the pain became very fresh for a lot of us, including his son Wolfie Van Halen, who gave a wide-ranging interview to People magazine where he talked about his father and how much he misses him. Valerie Bertinelli posted on her social media about how much she misses Ed, and we all miss him a lot. Of course, the tribute mural to Eddie went up in LA this past week. And finally in the news, we got our first taste of Papa Emeritus Bor from Ghost. He appeared on Swedish national TV with his countrymen, the Helicopters, performing the Rolling Stones classic Sympathy for the Devil, How Apropos. We got our first look and sound of the Papa. Of course, you know that this is Tobias Forge now. In his new persona, Ghost is working on a new album expected for release late this year, but more likely in early 2022. I shit you not. Unbelievable stories you can't make up. Here's just a general message out there to everybody watching the show. If you're getting text messages from superstars in rock and metal, they are probably a fraud. It's probably not your friends in real life. It's a very small amount of you who are in the music world or know these people for a long time. Those are your friends. Everybody else, you're being trolled. There's a lady out there who was catfished by somebody purporting to be both Nikki Sixx and Bret Michaels, respectively, of Motley Crue and Poison. Of course, she was on the Dr. Phil show as her friends had to convince her she was being catfished. This shit is a lot of drama and too crazy for words. And now for a look at Who Rules It Streaming. This week's Who Rules It Streaming kicks off with the January edition of the Slay at Home Fest. That's right, props to Metal Injection's Slay at Home Fest, raising money for charity. This month's Slay at Home Fest was in support of NIVA, aka Save Our Stages. You can donate at the link below. And performances this week included Tombs, Gorgatron, Salem's Ben, Perdition Sect, War Curse, Andy Gillian, Del Judas, Lost Symphony, COVID Bastards, and cover collaborations with members of Black Dahlia Murder, Voivod, Gorguts, Krallis, Carcass, Pounder, Nervosa, and more. Also on the streaming front this week, Gritty and Pink held their annual launch event a few weeks back, and this week they held their Instagram live stream concert, all supporting the Keep Abreast Foundation. This is hosted by Shiragirl and featured powerful women artists from the LA scene, such as Susie Moon, Eva Gardner, Nikki Stringfield of the Iron Maidens, Ina of King Queen, and included a cover of Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name.
And now for a quick look at some of the music out this week for New Music Friday. Altered Dead, Return to Life, Memento Mori Records. Black Totem, 2, Shapeshifting, Svart Records. The Body, I've Seen All I Need to See. Thrill Jockey Records. Crystal Viper, The Cult, Listenable Records. Demon Head, Viscera, Metal Blade Records. Ex Imperatus, Saharatu, Willowtip Records. Grey Days, Amends, Stripped EP, Loma Vista Recordings. Harakiri for the Sky, Mare, AOP Records. The Hawkins, Live in the Woods EP, The Sign Records. King Bale, Conjurement, Wormhole Death Recordings. Mir, Playing House, Charisma Records. MSG, Immortal, Nuclear Blast. Nopes, Jork, Magnetic Eye Records. Portrayal of Guilt, We Are Always Alone. Closed Casket Activities. Soen, Imperial, Silver Lining Records. Sonic Flower, Rides Again. Heavy Psych Sounds. Tribulation, Where the Bloom Becomes Sound, Metal Blade Records. Trillionaire, Romulus, Nefarious Recordings. And Werewolves, What a Time to Be Alive, Prosthetic Records.
And now for a look in our mailbag. This week's mailbag features an awesome album we got in the mail, Holy Roller by Spirtitbox. That's right, the translucent yellow, limited to 1,000 vinyl 7-inch single is the awesome single, one of the best songs of 2020 that the band put out, and any band put out actually. And they put out a recent new single, Constance. They put out a line of coffees recently. They launched their Patreon. They got a new record in the works. We're super high on Spirtitbox for 2021. If you made it this far, you know what time it is. It's the end of the show. Thank you so much for hanging with Ghost Cult, a small business. Subscribe and check us out at ghostcultmag.com. Share this stuff all over social media if you like it. Tell a friend. As we say every week at this juncture, it's a tough time in the world. So please, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay fucking metal. Go web. Go web.
Up and away, web.
Up and away, web.